Good evening. I'm calling the Monday, January 5th, 2026 Parks and Natural Resources Commission meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. The Burnsville's Parks and Natural Resources Commission meetings are currently conducted in person. Members of the public may attend the meeting in person, online via Zoom, or by calling in. Additional instructions on how to participate are posted online at www.burnsvillemn.gov in the public meeting calendar. As usual, tonight's meeting is also available for viewing on BC TV and on the city's website. If you are not able to participate in this evening's meeting and would like to submit public testimony, I encourage you to email your comments to the city staff or mail your comments directly to City Hall. Now, to begin the agenda. The first item of the Parks and Natural Resources Commission meeting tonight is the adoption of the agenda. Our council has had an opportunity to review that. Do any members of the commission have any changes to the agenda? No changes? Staff, do you have any changes?
Nothing from staff.
May I have a motion for adoption of the agenda, please?
I'll move.
So moved? Second?
I'll second.
Please, thank you. All in favor of adopting the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next, we have two sets of meetings that we need to approve. On item 2, we would like to consider approval of the September 15th, 2024 Parks and Natural Resources Commission meeting minutes. Commissioners, are there any changes to the minutes?
I do have a change for November 17th. I was
Okay,
not
we'll
present.
get to 17th on.
I apologize.
This is for, that's okay, for September 15th. So any changes for September 15th? No changes? Staff, any changes to the minutes?
Nothing from staff.
Okay, I would appreciate a motion to approve the September 15th, 2024 Parks and Natural Resources Commission minutes, please.
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
The second?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, may I have a motion to approve the November 17, 2025 meeting minutes? If there are any changes, please let us know.
I do have those changes.
Okay.
I was not present at that meeting, unfortunately, so I do need to be removed from those.
Okay, thank you very much for catching that. Any other changes? Do we have a motion to approve those minutes as amended?
I so move.
Any second?
I'll second.
Okay, very good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Very good. That motion has also passed. At this time, are there any members of the public that are joining us on Zoom meeting or otherwise who wish to speak? Staff, do we have any?
Chair Hansel, I have not seen anyone.
Okay. Then we will go ahead and move forward to the approval of the 2026 annual work plan. JJ Ryan is going to present the work plan that we worked on last month. Please.
Thank you, Chair Hansel. And that was a couple months ago now. We met in November. But the Parks and Natural Resources Commission is an advisory body to the city, which you all know. Our mission is to advise, to guide, and to advocate for parks and natural resources in the community. As we look at our work and what we do, the PNRC topics fall into the following categories. We review approved plans, policy, and code. We take a look at studies and projects. And then what we did in November was that last bullet point, and those are your commissioner requests. And we take a look at how we can accommodate those requests, whether they be through presentations, through a written report, or, we'll get to it, a new version of a roundtable that we're going to introduce for 2026. So these items that fall under the plans, policies, and codes include our deer management plan, our stormwater pollution protection input, the state of the lakes, our sustainability plan, and our capital improvement plan. And we review all of these on an annual basis. Studies and projects. This right here, our annual work plan, and the work we did in November, and then the work that will be coming in February when we present that work plan to City Council for their review and approval. Also, we've been working for the past almost a year on a recreation services study. This is kind of an add-on or an addition to the parks plan that was completed in 2024. And then also, we are working on a wayfinding study. That's how folks are navigating our park system or where you're at in our park system or in a specific park. So we've got a couple studies that will be coming to you in 2026 for your review and approval. On to the commissioner requested items. So we had a great discussion back in November, and we came up with 8 different topics with the help of our Public Works Director, Mark Ray. We landed on the seasonal articles, and those are the items that he's been putting in our recreation bulletin, or not the recreation bulletin, but the city's bulletin about snow use or salt use during the winter months and watering restrictions and things like that. And so we want to talk more about those as they come forward and have a look at those before they're sent out. There was a need for more information on our city street lighting. There was discussion on wanting to understand more about our city's drinking water. We talked about the Dakota Electric and Great River Energy sustainability, and for that one, we'll have those folks come in and present to you about what they're doing to work on sustainability projects. We also talked with our Public Works Director, and he was able to establish a date for the Kramer Quarry Tour. I believe that will be in June. And then these topics here, these were topics that we were unable to find a solution for how we could present these to you. But you commissioners, you wanted to take a look at diving into these a little deeper and doing some of your own research on the work. So that is working with the School District 191 to assist in raising student awareness on sustainability and natural resources, watering restrictions, and then adding a biodiversity index to the sustainability dashboard. So these 3 topics here, what I'm proposing to you is that much like during a city council work session, they have an area in their agenda that evening for a roundtable discussion. And that's where I would propose that we add that roundtable category to our agenda. Each of the meetings we meet like this, and then allow commissioners who are working on these topics to provide an update if they have one for that meeting. If there is no update to provide, that's fine. But if you have something to share with the rest of the group on your findings, the rest of the commission would love to hear it. So, and we talked about it a little bit. We weren't sure how we were going to make this happen back in November, but we talked about commissioners doing this work and leading the charge and researching these topics. And I think we found a way to make that happen with a roundtable discussion.
Fantastic.
Our parks tour, we're going to go on a parks tour again in August. This is kind of an ongoing build out of the agenda. We wait to see where we're at with park projects, or maybe something pops up that wasn't initially planned, and we have to go take a look at something in our system, whether it be a washout or an immediate need because of some damage to a property or things like that. And then new slide this year, some of you have asked, we've popped up, here's our meeting schedule for 2026. You can see that July and December are open. I think tentatively our meeting date for July is July 6th. Typically not a lot of participation that time of year. And then I've enjoyed the extra month this year of having December open so that we could go back and review the topics that were discussed at our November work session and prepare for this meeting here tonight. So here are your dates for 2026. I can make those available to you. I see you're all frantically writing them down, but I can send those out too. I can send those out to you as well. So with that, commissioners, this is work you discussed in November at length. It's just put into a different format here. Are there any other questions or comments that you'd like to ask, or anything that was maybe lost or forgotten from November?
I have something. I think when we talked about the work with ISD 191, I think we also were considering the possibility of the environmental school, which is in 196. So I just wanted to
Very good.
suggest that.
Sure. I can update our work plan that's going to go to council to reflect that.
I really like the roundtable idea, to get commissioner involved. It's a great idea.
So smart. Yes.
It's your work, commissioners, that let us do that. So I thank you for that.
I have a question, and this might be more of an implementation than a planning question, is when it comes to those roundtables, what are those guardrails that we can, like, what kind of presentation? Are we talking just like a little PowerPoint, or it could, because a project could be a project, anyway. And then my second question is, and while we are working or perhaps researching, can we say can we use the city of Burnsville and say, I'm a commissioner and this is on my work plan, can I use that? It's not authority, but can I use, can I cite my position here?
Yeah, it's fair to cite your relationship to why you are, and I'll use Commissioner Matz as an example. He dug around and found watering restrictions for the 7-county metro area, I think, and put it all into a nice spreadsheet for us, and hopefully he'll be presenting that to us in March in some way, shape, or form. So the guardrails, backing up a little bit, Commissioner Gomez, however the commissioners are doing the work, however you would like to share your information, whether it's a handout or whether it's standing over here because you have a PowerPoint put together, we can make all of that work. And yes, please, if you are contacting the school district or the School of Environmental Studies, feel free to say, I'm so-and-so, I'm a commissioner with the Burnsville Parks and Natural Resources Commission. I am looking at ways to do this, that, or the other thing.
Thank you.
Any other questions for JJ?
I have now,
Gomez.
yes, I have, now I have a procedural question. If I were to have an amendment, is now the time, or is it after, when somebody motions to approve the plan?
Like you have an addition to our work plan? Well, now would be, now would be a good time to add anything, because the commission may have an opportunity to say,
Yes,
maybe that's
it's a
not ours.
conversation.
Yes.
Okay. Well, folks, fellow commissioners, I would love to add one more thing to the roundtable, and that is something that was put on the work plan last year, but wasn't something that the city was able to address. But I would love to have a clarified report on the Tennessee Trail elementary, well, not elementary school, but on that park property, just to clarify its boundaries and to really share the history of how it's gotten to be where it is. That's my pitch.
Commissioner Gomez, you stated that as a commissioner-led roundtable discussion?
Or a project. So in this case, I'm thinking a handout.
Sure, but something that
I would lead.
perhaps you would lead?
Yes, not for
Okay.
the city, but for these roundtable topic.
Sure. That seems fair, and I know that some work was done attempting to get us there, and I think I have some work that I could share with you to maybe get
Now that would be
you
exciting.
started on the right foot.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like and even as we forward, if topics come up that I may be out of line here, would we be able to add those topics as we progress through the year and say, oh, I've got this new information that I'd like to share, and we can just add it to the agenda even though it's not officially on the work plan?
Commissioners, I believe there's always room for add-ons like that. Things may come to you that we're not aware of. If somebody's doing some lakeshore improvements to their home property and it requires some type of review or things like that we don't know are in the works right now. So if I think it's very fair to say if you needed to add something later in 2026, we could do that.
Okay, thank you.
Again, with the knowledge that, yes, I'd have to check to make sure that's something we can handle
Sure.
from a staff perspective and
Right.
things like that.
Right, or even, like I say, for these roundtable
Yeah.
discussions, more primarily for that kind of thing. And then if the roundtable discussion leads us to a point where we feel like, let's elevate this, then we could go through a formal process of trying to add it to the work plan as an amendment later in the year. Okay, thank you very much for that. Any other questions or comments from the commissioners for JJ? Okay, then at this point, I would like a motion from the commissioners to approve this amended work plan for 2026.
I so move.
Any second?
I second.
Very good. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Well, JJ, I don't know that you wanted to sit down yet, because you're still on the, although I guess you don't need a PowerPoint presentation for this.
Chair Hansel, I don't have a PowerPoint for this next section, and that is the election of our chair and vice chair. In your packets, you were asked to possibly reach out ahead of time if you had an interest in serving in any of these roles, or if you wish to nominate someone to serve in those roles. I did hear from Commissioner Gomez, who expressed an interest in serving as our vice chair, and I did hear from our current chair, Mr. Hansel, who expressed an interest in coming back as our chair for the PNRC for 2026. And again, those two roles would serve through the January 2027 meeting when we elect new chair and vice chair at that time. So unless there are other folks that wish to throw their name in the hat, I would accept a motion for Mr. Hansel as our chair and Ms. Gomez as our vice chair for the next year.
I so move.
I second.
Commissioner Matz, I thought you might.
Vociferously, he so moved.
I don't know what
yes.
you're talking about.
You will not be there in February, right?
I may show up just to watch.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
Very good. 7-0. Thank you.
I'm looking through our notes here, and I would invite all of the commissioners to the city council meeting on February the 2nd, 2026 at 5:30 PM, where I believe I will be presenting our work plan to the city council. We would love to have your moral support while we're doing that. Are there any other comments or from any of the commissioners at this time? Yes.
I've got one last minute announcement. The Dakota County Soil and Water Conservation District tree sale opened this morning, and I got my 2 nut and berry bundles. And I recommend that everyone else does as well. So I know, they would appreciate that plug.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Any other comments? At this time, I'd like to request a call for adjournment of the January 5th, 2026 Parks and Natural Resources Commission meeting.
I move to adjourn.
Do we
I'll
have a
second.
second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Without opposition, we stand adjourned.